Oh, you guys, it's just me. And this peacock feather I found outside. And I wanted to share with you guys this shimmering blue. You see that there? That's what we like to call the greatest color in the world. It is the absolute best, and I cannot be convinced otherwise. But on tap today is something more beautiful and delicate than peacock feathers. It is a Tom tournament. Tournament of Toms, not the shoes, but we have people. We have Hanks, Hardy, Hiddleton, Holland, Hamilton, Chong. We have all the greatest Toms pitted up against each other in this tournament, and a returner of the show, Matt Nevins, comes on, and we get down to it. We decide who the best Tom is, and all the while, I hope you guys enjoy this utter Tom foolery. I don't want to break eardrums, you know. This isn't drumline here.
Yeah, I don't have any kind of visibility.
I'm no Nick Cannon. I'm not trying to make people bleed out of their ears. Matthew.
Sometimes it's warranted. Maybe not right now, though.
Matt Nevins, this is your third time on. You were the second guest ever on this podcast, and here we are now. I think you were number 2, not the poo.
Number 2, yeah.
Number 2,
yeah.
And then
did we have a follow-up?
I believe we did. We talked space and such.
Idiot.
I demand the best. The sliders demand the best. They'll settle for nothing less.
Should lower this umbrella here sandwich so we can see the sky a little bit.
The sky a little bit? You know, I have a brother named Sky. You hear that crank?
Indeed I do.
What great... Hold on. Let's get this sound effect here. I'm about to put the microphone up. Listen to this crank.
Just lower that umbrella a little bit. Oh, that's excellent.
That's some good audio.
No, I was just thinking. Be good to see. We've got potential storm clouds moving in.
Beautiful, dude.
Yeah,
it is a beautiful day.
Maybe a little bit of activity tonight.
So much activity. We have been gathered here today because every summer the family makes a journey up here to Lake Tahoe. We rent the same cabin. We go to the same beach, even though I've yearned for more diversity. The powers that be, the Almighty Council of Thomas women, deem it unworthy. So we just go to Mix Bay, and we have a great time. And this year is no different, even though it is different. We're back up here.
When it gets down to it, sandwich.
Yep.
When it gets down to it, sandwich. When you're paying.
Down to it, sandwich.
When you're paying, we'll go where you want to go.
Absolutely. Yeah. Truer words never spoken.
Hey.
I paid $0.00 for this venture, and I do not intend to spend a goddamn penny because I'm a spoiled little brat that deserves the best. As are my sliders. They deserve the best, so I'm trying to give them quality content. Quality, Matthew. Matt Nevins here.
So anyways, what am I saying? I'm just a hitchhiker on this deal. So
hey, here you are.
Take it how I can get
so we are currently on an outdoor patio surrounded by pine trees, drinking Corona seltzers.
Sandwich.
It's a deck sandwich.
Deck, and we are in a forest. Yeah,
surrounded
by trees. That's a forest.
We're here to. You foolishly agreed to do a podcast with me. But before we get started on this, here's a teaser: Tom Tournament Podcast. You had an encounter with a bear this morning. You ran into a freaking bear this morning, and I'm not talking big, hairy, gay guy. I'm talking fur and blood and claws and just a yearning to
black bear
eat some mat flesh, some mat meat. What happened? Describe how tight was your booty hole?
Yum. Well, it wasn't that big of a bear. I wasn't that freaked out. But when it started huffing at me and pawing at the dirt.
You're out on your morning hike, just to give a little context.
Yeah, I was on a morning bike ride that turned into a hike after I got a flat tire.
Were you nude again?
No.
You had clothes on this time?
No, I did have clothes on this time.
But you're still erect?
No, sir. I feel like
don't lie to me.
No, so I thought I was going to take a trail that was going to be a shortcut, and alas, it was not.
It was not. What was it? Death
It ended up being the long cut. And,
Naughty.
The bear just kind of, I mean, I don't, I
came out of
guess
nowhere.
I just had looked away, looked off the side of the trail, and then when I looked back at the trail again, the bear was just like, it was just there.
Did it surprise you,
Maybe.
or did it, like, what was your sense of awareness? Like, what was going through your
It
mind?
surprised the hell out of me. It was maybe, because it was pretty close to me, it was maybe 25 feet away, 30 feet away.
Damn.
maybe.
But you had bear mace.
Yeah, no, I felt much more secure, and if I didn't have that, it would have been a much
More dire situation.
I would have felt much less safe.
What I find fascinating is the nonverbal communication the bear is able to accomplish. Like, it huffed at you, and it scraped the dirt with its claws.
Yeah, no,
so what'd that do to you? Like, he's talking to
It
you.
was kind of weird. It was maybe like the size of like a Saint Bernard. I mean, it was not like a full-grown animal. So, but yeah, no, it was maybe just trying to establish some dominance or something. I don't know. I mean, I just started yelling at it.
At what point did you show him your just to like set the record straight
kept
here?
it inside, you know. I mean, typical fear response retreats inside the body.
You didn't show him the goods?
Better actually. So
Let him get away with his dignity.
well, you know, whatever happens, I mean, needs to stay intact.
Could you
so-
take him?
Did I take?
Could you have?
Could
Say
I
he
have
said,
taken
you know
him?
what, Matt? It's
I mean, if
time for
it
you to
came
die."
down to like a wrestling match, and this
Wrestling.
thing was maybe 75, 85 pounds, maybe.
He's got claws though, and you just got them.
Yeah. I mean, I had the bear
Stubby little
mace. If I
fingers
could have
of
at
yours.
least got him a little bit with the bear mace, I did have a rock in the other hand,
Mm-hmm.
and I was contemplating like throwing the rock at it.
I would have
I
aimed
don't
with my
know if
left
I
hand,
would've just, like,
sprayed,
pissed
and
off.
then hurled the rock in a 2-hit
I
combo.
mean, if it would have came closer to me, I probably would have sprayed at it.
What's the range on that bear mace? Because it looked like a big can of Raid.
I mean, I think inside of like 10 yards, which it was inside of 10 yards. So.
Mhm. That is pretty alarming. I know my butthole would be puckered, but alas, I was sleeping.
So, anyways, I
like a
chased the
regular
bear.
person.
I yelled at the bear. I was waving. I had a vest on. Took the vest off. I was waving that thing, yelling at it, and the thing ran off the trail into the bushes, and unfortunately, the direction that I kind of needed to be going. So then I actually saw it maybe another half mile down the trail. I saw it again. I was yelling.
Saw
at
it twice?
Yeah, no, and then the first time was a fairly close encounter. The second time it was maybe 20 yards, maybe
Mm-hmm.
50 feet away or so. But I saw it on the trail, like through the trees, and I yelled at it.
Hey, freak show!
And I could see it moving. I could see like the dust kind of like, it was in the morning time. The sun had just come up, so there's like kind of sunbeams coming through.
Were
the
you
trees.
yelling racial slurs at the bear?
No, but I was yelling bear. I dropped some F-bombs.
Yeah.
You motherfucker!
Ooh,
Sure.
you're
Yeah,
that fired up.
well, I mean,
It's too early in the morning to be that salty.
Well, you know.
Man, well, I'm glad you survived because we had this podcast planned, and
Indeed,
let's
sir.
get into
Yeah,
it.
let's get into
It
it.
is. We were just gonna talk. I'm gonna try to keep these podcasts at an hour mark. Like I feel like that's a sweet
So,
enough,
yeah,
enough to
that's,
ask out of somebody's day.
Maybe have a what our bracket is like.
Yeah.
How many matchups we got? Okay, so we got like what,
Oh, people don't
5
know.
minutes.
We have this is the best Tom tournament. Every Tom that's worth a damn is on this bracket.
I mean,
16
yeah,
Toms.
there's
16
I don't know, I think
Toms,
you gotta-
Matt.
Fair enough. Yeah.
But we have the
let's
best
do it.
Toms here, as far as I'm
Bring it
concerned.
up.
And we're gonna start
So
on the
we
top
got like
left.
5 minutes apiece on these, or
We're just gonna talk it through. You know,
So
I feel like we're
running
gonna have
out
a
of
debate.
time if we're just rolling.
Here's a
We gotta
social
have some
experiment.
Sort of like.
We got these Toms, Matt. We got these Toms,
Yeah. Okay.
and we're gonna pin them up
let's-
against each other, and we're gonna start it off here at the top left. And here's the social experiment.
What's this? Do you have seeds on this, or is this just complete random?
Just complete randomness. Give me any kind of context, any reason for any
Yeah. Let's
particular Tom.
let's.
But here's the
let's
social
dig right
experiment,
in.
Matt. Hear me out. Now this is gonna sound crazy. We're gonna debate. Say we disagree on which Tom is better. We can have a debate and a difference of opinion, and yet we can still remain allies in this life. Just because we disagree on something doesn't mean we have to hate each other. Is that even possible? Let's find out. maybe at the end of this, we'll be on this bracket fighting to the death.
Very possible. I mean, what is that like?
If we disagree on something, therefore we must hate
Football?
each other. Per the law of, mob mentality 2020.
I've already visualized at Sandwich how it's going to go down if it comes down to it.
Damn. I assume you're naked and sweaty.
No, sir.
And bloody.
No, sir.
Covered in aloe vera.
No, sir. But maybe like a 20-foot drop off of this deck.
Ooh.
And you'd be in some pain.
Nasty.
Sir.
Some pain. Well, without
All right,
further
let's bring it
ado,
on
let's
here,
get
Sandwich.
this.
Let's
We
get
have
this going.
Tom Brady, the New England's quarterback, the Golden Boy. Now he's the quarterback of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, the Tampa Bay. We have Tom Brady, 6-time Super Bowl champion, I believe. And then we have Tom Cat. Tom the Cat from Tom and Jerry, the timeless and most glorified children's cartoon ever created. And we have these two guys, these two titans, clashing in the very first matchup of this tournament. My inkling, I hate Tom Brady. I think he's a good guy off the field. There's no antics. There's no there's no tomfoolery. But he has 6 rings. There's no denying it. But I feel like he is such a whiner and a baby and has forced the league to pander to, no, it doesn't need to be like Joe Montana days where linebackers are foaming at the mouth to kill these quarterbacks and not a flag was thrown. I'm not saying we need to go back to that. There's got to be a happy medium where he's barely touched and flags are thrown. It ruins the game, ruins the flow. It's like, you got to get hit. It's football. And I feel like he's tainted the game, and he's cheated. And the Patriots are a proven cheating organization. I can't stand it. They're cheaters.
We've got to accept what it is, Sandwich.
I'm not going to accept what it is, Sandwich.
It's a modern day gladiator arena. We need to stop
I'll accept no cheating.
pandering to these ass players.
Whoa,
that
look at
don't
you,
want
this
to
tough
get
guy.
injured. I mean, I say let's go beyond that. Let's allow them to completely be juiced up to the hilt. Their eyeballs are bleeding yellow, and
Their
I
assholes inside out.
want to see an 80-yard pass.
You want superhumans.
Indeed, I do. I
Oh
want
my
to
God,
see
why
what
not?
I
feel
want
like-
to see what
Make it mandatory.
my roided up guy can do against your roided up guy.
What about
And
their
I just
safety?
want to see what are the limits of the human capability. I mean, we're not even close to it when we're trying to stay within the bounds of some sort of fair play.
I feel like what we're
Kidding
seeing
me,
right now is
fair
pretty
play.
goddamn incredible, and it keeps getting better. But if they're all roided up, if they somehow made a
I mean,
a
I
safe
think
steroid,
that
there's no
there
such
should
thing
be,
as a
I
safe
think there
steroid.
should be like a steroid league for all sports league, baseball, football, and you got the clean league, which is like the all about purity of the sport. But you get caught juicing 3 strikes, and then you gotta go to the frickin' juice league, and then it's like all bets are off. You're playing against
I got you for 3 minutes.
these roided out monsters, I feel like people are gonna die.
And
I feel like that's a dangerous dice to roll. It's a dangerous dice to roll. But anyways,
I mean-
back to the bracket. We gotta get back on track.
I want to see bodybuilders playing baseball, and I want to see an 800-foot home run.
Apes, these gorillas.
I mean, I want to see 600-foot fences on some of these parks.
Oh my God.
I mean, think of the amount of seats that you could fit. Think of the amount of seats that you could sell in a stadium that size.
And then we gotta move on to cyborg people.
And I mean,
Enhance
then
them.
you've got track stars playing in the outfield. That can
So
that
by
can jump as high as Olympic high jumpers, and do acrobatics and.
well, Matt, here's the real
I
question.
mean, if they can do that, what's the point of having any kind of talent or any kind of
it enhances you. But here's the question: Tom Brady or Tom Cat? Who's your pick?
I mean, I got to go with Tom Cat.
I'm going Tom Cat as well.
I mean, I love Tom Brady, but I kind of hate him
yeah.
at the same time.
I'm sick of seeing Tom. And but Tom Cat, Tom and Jerry I looked it up. They have 7 Oscars and 13 nominations overall. That is incredible. That is the most. Wikipedia
I mean,
said the
that's,
most lauded cartoon ever
irrelevant.
created. There's
I mean,
not
as far
fucking
as
touch
like
it.
awards and stuff like that, I feel like all that's irrelevant. I mean, it's a
Irrelevant.
cultural landmark. I mean, how many generations of kids grew up with Saturday morning cartoons, Tom and Jerry?
That is.
I mean, meanwhile, you got Tom
generations.
Brady. You know, I really think that he was a franchise quarterback.
You're
I
right.
feel like, in the same way, as much as I love the years, the couple of years the Vikings had Brett Favre, and I cheered the hell out of him.
Oh my God, those.
I
were
still
exciting.
feel like ultimately he should have just stayed retired, and I feel like that would have been a better ending to his football story or whatever. And I think that probably Tom Brady's going to be kind of a similar kind of thing.
Hadouken!
Next bracket, Matthew. The next portion of the bracket, we have Tommy Wiseau versus Tommy Chong. Do you know who Tommy Wiseau is?
Tommy Wiseau, The Room.
The Room. That I feel like he deserves a
Possibly one
spot.
of the worst movies ever created.
I believe
And
the
I
best worst
agree,
movie ever made.
And the guy just annoys me.
He is such a disturbing presence upon my eyes. I've never seen anything like that before.
This podcast goes out to the world.
It goes out to the mouth.
Tommy Wiseau. I mean,
He
I don't know him
tried.
personally, but anything I've seen about him, the guy just seems like he really just wants and needs attention. And his movie was trash.
It was
and I think that
unbelievable.
we're doing the world a disservice by even talking about it.
Not
actually.
even. We need to
Meanwhile, Tommy
look
Chong.
at this. Tommy Chong.
Tommy Chong is
Chong's my choice,
Cheech and
obviously.
Chong are an institution of a generation.
Mhm.
You know? I mean, it's they brought it to the forefront. They made people that were maybe not quote unquote hip with it or
Right.
whatever, laugh about stuff.
They brought it into the
It's
cultural lexicon. Into the mindset.
Yeah, I mean I guess that's what I'm trying to say. Yeah.
Very good. I'm going Tommy Chong just because of his cultural impact. Cheech and Chong.
Let's move on. Tommy
Moving on.
Wiseau.
I just wanted to mention The Room because of its outrageousness. That somebody, if anybody, all right, here's the silver lining. If anybody is insecure with their ambition and what they want to achieve in their life, just know that
always
The
watch
Room
that.
was bought and paid for by Tommy Wiseau. He paid for it. He directed it. He wrote it. God, Lord knows what woman that was based off of. He hates women in that. There's 2 sex scenes that there's the first one in the first 15 minutes of the movie, and then the second one is all of that same footage just ends a little sooner. It is outrageous.
Just think of all the
It's
really just
out-
movies that are out there. The really bad movies that somebody convinced somebody
Unbelievable.
else to hey, spend some money on this thing.
It was his money.
Yeah, he couldn't convince anybody. That's how bad it is. Because Hollywood will make some bad movies.
I can't imagine a movie much worse than this one.
It's pretty bad.
If it's ever been made. I don't know. On purpose,
Anyways, what's the next one sandwich?
but next one. All right, here's the one we were waiting for. This is a first round effing heater. We got Thomas Edison, the inventor of the light bulb, versus Tom from MySpace, one of the pioneers of the social media era in our culture.
I want to lean towards a certain way. I want to lean towards Thomas Edison, but I've kind of read some things that he was kind of a bastard in his own time anyway.
Really?
Indeed.
How so? What do you mean, bastard?
No, not just that maybe these patents and stuff that are attributed to him are not necessarily solely his work.
Right.
and-
Nikola Tesla never got any love.
And they had their own different approaches, so that makes sense that he's not going to credit him. But I think that there was a lot of other people that were involved in his work that never really got any kind of credit. But the guy was still brilliant in his own right.
Mm-hmm.
Tom from MySpace.
And
though,
overall
I think-
cultural relevance and the impact.
Cultural relevance. We weren't alive back when electricity was first invented, but I'm sure people were pretty amazed by it.
Yeah.
Much. But MySpace. Social media. That's the beginning of social media, basically. What was there before that? There was probably.
There's
something.
emails. Emails was the thing.
No, but
were the
emails.
thing.
There was MySpace. There was Friendster or something like that.
There's
There was
a
some
lot
other
of
bullshit,
obscure ways.
little obscure ways of connecting with people, but MySpace was the first big one.
The first big one
And-
I can recall.
I mean, it's with retrospect, I think that social media has been a bad thing for humanity.
Well, when you-
it's definitely like it's been such a double-edged sword. It's hard to say like if it's been more bad than good or more good than bad. It's kind of, you can definitely debate that, but it's brought a lot of people together, but it's driven, I think, more people apart.
Here's what we were talking about yesterday. Like when you look at Tom's picture from MySpace, he's your first friend. You look at it. His
It's like a
intent,
candid
I'm
shot.
sure,
He's looking over his
was
shoulder,
like
somebody's like, "Hey, Tom," and he looked over his shoulder
Yeah.
and he took a picture of him. And,
so
like, that's
it's
what it was supposed
about
to be.
that picture. Like I feel is so symbolic to what social media was created for. It's friends that you want to stay in touch with, regardless of how far away, and it's more convenient or more practical and culturally relevant way to stay in touch with your friends. You're able to email them, instant message, or even say AOL instant messenger. I remember that was like kind of a thing in high school, was IMing somebody, and you're just sitting there. It's fun just to just for the
Rooms,
just
I mean,
chatting. That is it.
You'd go to chat rooms and stuff
That's
like that.
it.
I remember some stuff like that, but it was always like it was something like, I don't know. Me and my friends never really got that into it.
Mm-hmm.
I guess Facebook came along and it was something that was almost like exclusive.
Facebook for me was not that relevant. MySpace was kind of took over for me, and it was cool being able to pick your song and have your top friends. I guess that caused a lot of riff, but in friendship, at least for me, I was like, God damn, I didn't make that person's top 8. Like I thought we were cool. I thought we were tight.
I never really got into.
Dude, it was.
I mean, I didn't spend
It's
too much
addictive.
time. Like, yeah, I knew that it would be addictive.
It's an addictive way to communicate. It was new,
I don't know.
and
The
we
friends
craved
that
it.
I was hanging out with, we were really definitely doing a lot more stuff outdoors. Like, I don't know, I was riding dirt bikes and going camping and stuff like that. So it was like, especially like in the summer. I just think like in retrospect, I think that social media has been like a net detriment to society as a whole.
I would. I don't know. It's like I don't agree nor disagree with you. And here's my
We're gonna have to like thumb wrestle here or something.
Oh, we need a coin. We'll get a
say
coin.
Thomas Edison. You're saying Tom
I'm saying
MySpace?
Tom from
I'm gonna
MySpace has
punch
made
you
an
in the
overall
face.
more cultural
I'm
impact.
gonna bully you until you change.
Bully
your
me.
mind.
There's no way. Yes, the light bulb was great, and it was a great
Sure.
addition.
Oh, yeah.
It was a great
I mean, the light
addition
bulb,
to
that
human
was-
ingenuity.
That was cool, but
when
I
it
mean,
comes down
really,
to it, social
what
media
did the light
seems.
bulb do for anybody? Really?
Social media has definitely. It's the next step in our evolution. There's no way it could not have happened. This is part of us as human beings. Social media, it is so ingrained in part of our culture.
So,
we have our phones, so we can use
my
it.
question to you is, what's so special about MySpace Tom if it was something that was going to
It's
happen
what he
anyway?
represents. It's what he represents. He was a founding father of what the
Represents,
social
I mean-
media atmosphere is today. Is the IMs, the platform of it. It is evolved into
It's
this
pretty cool,
social
but it's
atmosphere
not-
we
It's pretty
experience
cool,
today.
but it's not the light bulb sandwich.
It's not the light bulb, but like
Not the
somebody
light bulb.
would have invented it either way. Social media has been, I think, a far more
I
Impactful.
and
existence than the light bulb.
and he was
A
he
candle could do the
oversaw-
same thing as a light
He oversaw
bulb.
the invention of a bunch of other stuff too. And I mean, you got the computer there, so you could search it more easily than me.
Here's my question to you. In 1,000 years, will people remember the light bulb or one of the founding fathers that turned social media, which is going to be implanted in our minds, where everything we see is a feed online that people can
I think
experience
that
as well?
people are going to remember Mark Zuckerberg, but I don't think they're going to remember MySpace Tom. And that's unfortunate for MySpace Tom because he was truly the pioneer. But I think people
Do you have a
are
coin
gonna
in your pocket?
remember-
Do you have a coin in your pocket?
I don't.
Let me pause this real quick and get one.
Stupid idiot. I can't
Stupid
believe you're gonna
idiot.
argue
MySpace Tom.
over Thomas Edison.
All right, hold on. Let me pause it.
Hey, Freak Show! You're going nowhere! I got you for 3 minutes! 3 minutes of playtime!
Oh, and we're back. Matt, we're back. We just had dinner. What a delicious waylay. Delicious
Sorry,
whale.
what were we talking about?
All right, so we vowed to just stay on track. There'll be some editing to do because we definitely veered off course, but we're going to be on course with this one. And my course is saying that Tom from MySpace, a.k.a. social media, has been a bigger cultural impact than Thomas Edison and his godforsaken light bulbs.
Oh, jeez, Rick.
He can shove them.
You're an idiot.
He can shove them. I think you're a fool. And I believe that gods will favor me. For when we disagree, since there's just two of us.
Shambo for this.
No, I got a coin.
Okay.
Nana Nancy provided me with the coin. New Hampshire, live free or die. This is a quarter, minted in.
So I guess Sandwich is about to flip
Year
this, and we're
2000.
about to see how deep this.
The universe
conspiracy
will. All right,
goes.
tails for Tom for MySpace. Heads for Thomas Edison. Thomas Hedison. You feel me?
Fair enough.
All right, here we go. You're watching it now. Do you
It's a
verify
rigged game, anyways.
this?
But
It's not a rigged game. You see the coin? Do you verify it is here and real? This is theater of the mind. This is all radio, Matt. We have to paint this effing picture for the audience. And you start brushing right now, mister. Is this...
Hedison. Yeah. Flip
Yep.
that.
All right, flipping. Tails. Tails for Tom from MySpace.
Jerk off flips it over.
Everybody flips it over because that's what you do. And you know what you else do? You vote for Tom from MySpace. The universe saw fit to favor me, not you, sir. Tom from MySpace moves on because he's a better man and has a bigger schlong and is better in the sack,
That I strongly
obviously.
disagree. I strongly disagree with that.
How strong? Not strong enough to sway the universe. The powers that be have spoken. You flip the next one.
Yeah. Well,
Sound fair?
We'll see. Okay,
Sounds fair?
Fair enough, I guess.
Fair and balanced. Have some of the cookie that you made.
You get in on some-
These are special cookies, aren't they, Matt?
Naughty.
I feel like we should eat a lot of them by the time this podcast end. We should be a baker's dozen deep, if I may speak so eloquently. Next, Tom. We have Tommy Lee Jones versus Tom Kenny, a.k.a. the voice of SpongeBob SquarePants, the nauseatingly sweet and irritating voice that has captivated the masses for generations. I gotta
Hold
go
on
Tom
here a
Kenny.
second.
I gotta go Tom Kenny from SpongeBob. He has been such a more impactful in my life. Just that, and he's also the voice of Dog from Cat Dog, and other characters. I'm assuming.
No, you know what? I agree. I mean, Tommy Lee Jones is a great actor. Definitely want that on the record. As if my opinion
It's on
really
there.
means
It's
a
on there.
damn thing. But now SpongeBob, voice of a generation.
Yeah, voice of a generation, and honestly, memes are still sucking the mighty teat of SpongeBob content and producing more and more stuff every day. It's beautiful. It's
In
beautiful.
fact, Sandwich, I feel like the more that like we talk about it, we're actually like diminishing what he does.
Tom Kenny?
Yeah.
How so? What do you mean? How are we diminishing?
Pure art form. That is the purity in what he does. I mean, it's. I mean, how can you watch that and not know that the person that comes up with that is just one of the most free people on this planet? You know.
If just letting loose, this character is bursting out of you. Like you watch, there was a convention video I watched when they reenacted that first scene where SpongeBob goes and applies to work at the Krusty Krab, and all the voice actors reenact that entire episode, and he goes off. He's into it, Tommy. Because SpongeBob trips over a nail and starts bouncing all over the place like a freaking spaz, and it's just really interesting to see him lay it down.
Yeah, no, it's like I said, yeah, the guy that comes up with that, it really is like, I mean, there is no freer person.
No.
There's not a single like sane human being that can watch an episode of SpongeBob SquarePants and not think that like
I'm your huckleberry.
you're like how does somebody allow that to happen?
If anything,
Like
it
how does
should
somebody
inspire
allow
people to be
money
more
to
creative.
spent on such an off the wall,
wild.
ridiculous premise for a show? And it's not like it's just the premise that's ridiculous. It's like every single storyline even imagined in that show is just like it's so ridiculous.
But the writing is so clever. The way they
It's super clever and
It's outrageous. Adults can resonate with it.
The humor is nearly, probably, if not more, for adults than it is for kids.
Notice all the memes come from the first couple seasons.
About it, which is one of the best things about it, is like there's all this humor that like flies over the head of a kid, but a parent's like, I can't believe that like they just said that. Like,
They catch it like a receiver.
yeah.
I love it. Over the kids' heads, but
anyways,
the parents
so yeah, I
cradle
think
it.
we're agreement there. So let's
All right.
move on from that one.
Very good. All right, we're gonna go to the top
side of the bracket.
Other side of the bracket. Here we go. We have Tom Holland, a.k.a. Spider-Man, the newest Spider-Man, versus Tom Cruise, the immortal Tom Cruise. My vote is Tom from all the Mission Impossibles.
Tom
Top
Cruise,
Gun,
hands
Days
down.
of Thunder.
I'm sorry, I didn't even know who the newest Spider-Man was. What iteration of Spider-Man is this?
He first
I don't
appeared
care, Sandwich. It doesn't
in,
matter
Captain
what you're
America
about to
Civil
say.
War.
I don't care.
He's a great Peter Parker. He's a great Spider-Man.
Irrelevant.
Not irrelevant, but he has
Nobody
not
cares about what the
rap
fifth
sheet.
version of Spider-Man was.
Okay, it's the third, you clod.
If Tobey Maguire would have done just a single Spider-Man, I can buy it that you're gonna change Spider-Man every single time you do a Spider-Man movie. But Tobey Maguire did 2 or 3 of them?
3 Spider-Man
He did a
movies.
trilogy,
The
and now you're
trilogy.
gonna try to reboot and make a new trilogy. out
Well,
of the
they
same
did
character. It's
2 movies with
stupid,
Andrew Garfield, and now it's Tom
insulting.
Holland.
I'm sorry, what?
They had 2 movies with Andrew Garfield, and then they had Tom Holland. They try to make franchises around people, and now Tom Holland might not even be bad.
You know, they've swung and they've missed ever since. I mean, I feel like you get it to a trilogy, and I think that's all that you can really do with like a series before every single thing is contrived.
Funnily enough, Matthew, funnily enough, I think every Spider-Man has brought their own flavor to it. Kind of like a James Bond-esque vibe, where it's all the same character, but it's portrayed by a different person. I think Tom Holland does a great job as Spider-Man, but there's no way he beats Tom Cruise.
That. Like it's gotta be, they've got to move away from like the major motion picture. Like do like a series with each character, so you get to actually each person gets to really flesh out who they make the character, instead of a
Keep
2
getting
hour.
fired, bro. Fired.
I mean, I could see something like doing like a Netflix has done pretty good, I think, on like The Flash.
Oh,
Daredevil.
yeah. Those, I mean, I
The
guess.
Daredevil was pretty good. The Arrow, whatever that one is
Arrow's Dudley.
I'm not
Love
even
Arrow.
don't really like it. Luke Cage was okay for
Luke
like
Cage
a
was
season.
subpar.
It was
Subpar.
okay for
I
a
expected
season.
more out of it.
Jessica Jones.
Jessica Jones was great the first
I
season.
mean, she's hot, but I mean that's about all she's got going for her. I mean, she's not even that interesting of a story.
The first season was very compelling. After that, it definitely fell off. But hey, we're not here to talk about that.
I think if you're talking about Spider-Man, like you can't just say like, oh, the 5th iteration of Spider-Man is in the running for anything. I don't think the guy's in the running for anything, dude.
You haven't. All right, you're speaking ignorantly, sir. You've seen 0 of the Spider-Man movies.
I've seen enough of them to know that if they keep making them, they don't keep getting better. I do know that.
I mean, I just have to disagree with you. I have to disagree.
Sandwich.
I have
After
to disagree.
they made the second one,
I absolutely
after
disagree.
they made the second one with Tobey Maguire, did you not think, okay, they make a third one, round out the trilogy, like the the Spider-Man story is told?
I'm always open to be proven wrong with like another movie, I
Horrible.
guess. Like there's sometimes you need to
Horrible.
cut it off, just put the trilogy, put the series out of its misery. This one, I thought the Tobey Maguire trilogy, just as goofy as it is, you got to accept it for what it is. It's campy as hell.
I think that you get like one chance per generation to like try to boot up a character like that, and it's passed. The time has passed. You can't just keep pushing the same character and trying to make it happen.
But this character
It's
is
like
unlike the
it's,
others, Matt. This character can make you so
if I
much
had my
money.
phone, I'd send you a meme right now.
No, this character,
Christ,
Spider-Man, is such a hot ticket. Did you see Into the Spider-Verse?
Hold on. Who are you even arguing here?
Tom Holland.
Tom Holland versus
Tom Cruise. Tom Cruise wins.
Yeah.
I don't even know. All right, so
Why are
we
we
just got stuck. We got stuck in the
We're
reeds.
arguing about how bad it is
It's
to
not.
reboot
No, all right, I'm
character
standing up for the new Spider-Man movies.
5
They are
times
solid.
in 1 decade.
This is no, it's 3, you goon, and it's not. All those movies
Sorry,
are pretty
they're-
good.
No, they're not.
How do you know? You've seen
not.
one. You see maybe you saw
They're
a
not
preview, and that is
sandwich.
the extent of your
They're
knowledge.
not.
What?
They're not.
Oh, naysayer, Matt.
They're
You
all
must be a
horrible.
horse. You say nay. Tom Cruise is the wiener. Obviously,
Tom Cruise,
Tom
hands
Cruise.
down.
My hands aren't up
We didn't even say anything about the guy.
because
that we
you
think
know.
that is the winner.
We'll use him against the winner of this next
I
bracket.
think you should have seeded these. I think you should have seeded this bracket. I think we would have had a more. I think we would have had more live.
There's only so many Toms. There's only so many Toms. The next one, we have
Okay.
Tom Hardy versus Tom Hiddleston. Are you familiar with these Toms?
Tom Hiddleston.
Loki from the Avengers. The
I mean,
trickster.
Tom Hardy. Yeah, I mean, what?
Tom
what
Hardy's
else
my
is-
guy.
like, I mean,
Tom Hardy's my guy.
they're just actors. They're not actually the characters that they play, right?
I mean, the way they embody them, it is part of them. I think when you act that well.
I mean,
Tom Hardy
what's his
has
name?
such
I
a
mean,
intense presence
what's his
on the
name
screen.
plays Loki. Like, I can't really envision another. After seeing him play that role, I couldn't envision another player.
He does it
person
very well.
Playing Loki.
Yeah.
But Tom Hardy's just a badass.
Yeah,
And
I love
Loki
Tom
can really
Hardy.
Suck a dick.
Tom Hardy wins. All right, moving on. Let's move it on. We have Tom Selleck, the immortal mustache, versus the immortal voice of Tom Petty. I gotta argue.
This is tough. This is
Is it tough?
like the real. This is the only actual one where there's like really an actual debate. I mean, Tom Selleck
What-
is like.
Next
he's,
up, we have Thomas Jefferson versus Tom Hanks. The hell are you talking about debate? We about
Well,
we're getting
no,
into
I'm
it,
talking
baby.
as thus far.
Thus far.
This is closest to like a legitimate. This is a real legitimate debate. I mean, I'm not even super familiar with what Tom Selleck's even done. I just know that
He's a
you know,
handsome son of a bitch.
Women swooned for him in his day, and I mean,
He was in Quigley Down Under. He was in Friends for a little bit. He's in Blue Bloods.
no, yeah, he's been
Cop
in a
movies.
million different things. And the
Yep.
guy's a great actor. Definitely,
Mhm.
I've seen everything I've seen him, and he's been really good in. But I mean, Tom Petty. I mean,
My vote's for Tom Petty.
Yeah, I
The-
mean,
like,
it's-
everything he's
it's-
bringing to the
it's-
table, his voice, like the type of music.
yeah, I mean,
the
I think
Heartbreakers,
it's unfortunate that Tom Selleck is being left by the wayside, and Tom from Facebook is
Hey.
somehow moving on to the next round.
Sometimes the
I
seating
mean, I think it's
does
just
you dirty.
I think actually it's perfect sandwich. It just portrays how life is just not fair.
It's not fair. That's what I'm trying to. There's no participation awards. Tom
Okay, so
Tom Selleck lost. He's not getting an award. He loses. He's done.
Lost. You got a
Bad rep.
positioning.
Bad draw the cards. You
Nobody's
went up
gonna
against
beat
Tom Petty.
Petty's
You lose.
Probably gonna walk away with this whole damn thing.
You know, that's what I'm thinking. But maybe we'll convince each other otherwise.
What's the next one?
Next up, we have Thomas Jefferson versus Tom Hanks. We have one of the founding
Man,
fathers.
okay, so this
We were
is the
arguing
only
about
one
this
that
last
we
night a little
really-
bit.
that we really even talked about. I mean, it's like Thomas Jefferson's like a founding
father
but,
on the
I mean,
$2
Tom
bill.
Hanks never owned anybody as property.
No,
So, I
he
mean,
did
it's
not
like-
have any slaves.
It's kind of hard to. I mean,
No
then,
slaves.
You know, but then again,
Thomas Jefferson had slaves
But
and
then again,
banged 'em.
in 100 years, what are we gonna say that Tom Hanks was doing or involved in that they find detestable at that time? You know, so there's always that. But I mean, I guess I gotta go with Tom Hanks because
Overall
I mean,
significance, I guess. Forrest
and-
Gump,
I mean,
Big, Saving Private Ryan,
yeah,
Toy Story.
I mean,
You Got Mail. He's in so many things. Jesus Christ. I love Tom Hanks. That's my
Forrest
voice.
Gump
That's
and
my
the
that's my
Burbs
choice.
are a couple of the greatest movie masterpieces, you know, in Hollywood history.
Mhm.
So okay, so Hanks,
The Burbs.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going Hanks.
the Burbs, yeah, the Burbs,
The Burbs.
yeah.
You're breathtaking. You're all breathtaking.
We got Tom Hanks. All right, we're moving on to the second round.
Second round.
Thomas Jefferson, Kiss My Ass. You're stuck in the first round, buddy. See you later.
Okay.
Halt.
What we
You
got
did not
here?
collect $200. Next up, we have
Cat
Tom Cat versus Tommy Chong. This is kind of a cultural.
Yeah, this is
Kind
tough.
of a cultural,
I still gotta go with. I gotta go with
okay.
Tom Cat though.
Tom Cat overall. I'll agree
Yeah,
with
and I
you.
don't really have anything to really much to say about it per se, other than I Tomcat has,
I've been delighted by Tomcat for years. Every time Tom and Jerry's on, I never get tired of it.
Tied to a lot of young memories that I have, whether it's like, we're watching cartoons at Grandma's house and this house or whatever, and, we're at Uncle whoever's house, Definitely a lot of memories watching.
Tomcat is making it further on in this bracket than I thought he would. I'm actually pretty happy about that.
Really kind of an inspiration to all children, just don't ever give up, The guy just got hit in the face with frying pans, and he got the short end of the stick like every single time.
He gets executed in one episode. He gets executed in one episode.
He's kind of an inspiration to kids everywhere. Just don't give up, man.
His character,
even if it's
also,
like the younger or the smaller guy, is getting the best of you every freaking time. He just never gives up. So.
Ooh, so these Toms. MySpace versus SpongeBob. Naughty.
I mean, I think SpongeBob still, look at kids programming these days.
Oh my god.
Look at there's like a turning point of when the kids programming got ridiculous. And I suggest that SpongeBob and Ren and Stimpy, which I think was created by the same people, those types of shows, that short amount of time, broke it open, to have just this ridiculous kids programming that just as a normal rational person, you can't make sense of it, but kids are just glued to it. Kids
I gotta give it to the voice Tom Kenny. I gotta go SpongeBob on this one for the memes, for the laughs, and overall kind of
I was saying
framing of my humor.
Yeah,
growing up.
No, it definitely opened the door for some more ridiculous type of stuff, which maybe reached a different kind of audience, different, i.e. sandwiches.
Oh, we got Tom Kenny.
Programming doesn't connect with somebody like a sociopath like that.
No,
the way
not
that just the insane weird stuff of SpongeBob just connects with
that's what makes it beautiful. It is such nonsensical
that's
creativity.
Why I kind of like it, and but it is just kind of strange to see how kids connect with that stuff though. It's man, this makes no sense. How does the kid just gravitate
it's compelling
towards the stuff that makes the least amount of sense?
Because that's what the beauty of it. Anyway, it doesn't need to, not for them.
Okay, well, hey, I'm
next moving on.
Both agree that
finally
MySpace.
You hated that. You hated that so much. All right, Tom Kenny, moving on. Now we have Tom Cruise versus Tom Hardy. And as much as Tom Hardy is he's on my Mount Rushmore of favorite actors. But in terms of it's his it factor that he brings to whatever. That's a really sandwich. He brings an it factor.
That's not a statement that you thought about before you made it.
No, I actually, if you listen to the podcast, I stated it in one of my last movie ones with Chris and Lucas.
So you have thought about it. That makes it even dumber sandwich.
I know it's what you want me to put up something that people just expect. I'm just saying for my personal bias. That's a bit of a personal bias.
Par for the course sandwich. That's something
I'll give you a par for the course, buddy. That's the beauty of having a personal bias. You can say something outrageous, goes against the grain.
That's one of my favorite things about you sandwiches. You like to say make ridiculous statements.
That's I make outrageous claims like I invented the question mark.
Okay, so
wow,
you're picking Tom Hardy over Tom Cruise?
No, here. If you just heard me out, yes, I have a boner for Tom Hardy. Great actor, and I love his it factor. And
so you've got two Toms on your Mount Rushmore?
I'm going Tom Cruise over Tom Hardy in this one. Could be a hot take.
You got two Toms on your Mount Rushmore?
No, I have Tom Hardy, Leo DiCaprio, Christian Bale, and Johnny Depp. That's
How does Tom Cruise beat out somebody on your Mount Rushmore without
I'm just saying,
on your Mount Rushmore?
I guess in terms of overall relevance. See, that's my personal bias is liking Tom Hardy.
Tom Cruise is like your Lady Liberty or something like that.
Yeah, put his face on Lady Liberty.
His own personal monument.
Yeah, absolutely. He has a special place in my heart.
Monument like those savages. They put on
the four-headed monster.
They gotta share a monument. What a bunch of dopes.
This Hydra. And then I'll have another actor that could be like the Lincoln Memorial.
You're going with Tom Cruise?
Tom Cruise. I gotta go Tom Cruise.
I agree with you that he is...
Off the screen antics aside, take the Scientology out of it.
I mean that.
That's gonna play
that's
gonna play a factor later on, though.
Oh really? Okay. Well, I think.
I weigh and measure every aspect of these human beings.
No, yeah, I definitely agree. Tom Cruise. I mean, you got Maverick. You've got whatever his name was in.
He's in Tropic Thunder. He's in Tropic Thunder.
He's just brilliant in Tropic Thunder.
Oh my god. I will you up.
Oh man, yeah, no, he's brilliant in Tropic Thunder, and he's really good in even the stupid Mission Impossible movies. They're ridiculous,
First one's outrageous.
But if you can suspend your disbelief, like they're okay action.
That's the
movies,
problem
and, like,
with so
and
many
the guy's
people
a
watching
badass
shows
that he
these
does
days.
like all his own stunts. So yeah, Tom Cruise.
Tom effing
sure, yeah.
Cruise.
Hey, can you close that door, Jack?
Some people dream of success.
Yeah,
Well, you're gonna wake up
all
and
the way,
work hard at
please.
it. Nothing
He's
is
just staring
impossible.
at you.
Come on, Jack.
Close the door.
Get to the point.
Oh, we got some I'm going to describe. He's going up. Jack is sitting in between the door. He just gets Spartan kicked back through. Sundown. This ring door is closed, and Jack is kicking his legs in defeat. Poor kid just can't get your break, and he's using his foot to open the door again. He's fighting back. The
Alright,
door
so
is
what's the
opening.
next,
He's opening up again. Matt. Oh, mom coming in. Coming in. Oh, no, she starts to tickling. She's tickling his ass. He can't help it, but the door's open. She's got the tickle is in there, and she goes to close the door. Wow, what a maneuver. Picks him up with both hands. Jack goes to open it again. He reaches for it. No, she takes him away with both hands. Jack loses. What a parenting dynamic you have there. What a save by Curly.
Quite the ordeal.
Your wife coming in to save the day.
So what's our next?
Wow. We have Tom Petty versus Tom Hanks. Again, I gotta
Tom Petty versus Tom Hanks.
I gotta go Tom Petty on this one.
Yeah,
I know Tom
Petty,
Hanks
yeah.
is a great actor. I'm going Tom Petty.
No, Tom Petty's got Tom Petty.
He's got the moves. All right, here. All right, now we're getting caught up in the reads here. We have something thick and heavy, Mr. Gilmore. Tom Cat versus Tom Kenny. SpongeBob versus Tom and Jerry.
Cat.
Tom Cat. Tom Cat.
Gotta go with the OG. He laid
You
the
know
groundwork.
what?
I mean, SpongeBob was standing on Tom Cat's shoulders.
That's true. Man, we've been agreeing on so much.
If you try to say
I feel like-
SpongeBob over Tom
No,
Cat,
I can't
will
do that.
punch you
I'm
in
not
the
going to do
face.
that. I'm not going to do that. Not for the sake of being contrarian, because I know it wouldn't be true. Tom Cat is making it to the finals. I can't believe he's one of the greatest Toms.
This is
All right,
happening.
we have Tom Cruise versus Tom Petty. Petty. Petty.
Yeah, I gotta go Petty. I mean,
Petty.
I've got an affinity for him.
I do.
I really.
Because he was all right. So my affinity starts with every time we'd be in the no wake zone, coming back from a long day of boating with Pops in the front of our Mastercraft. We're floating back. It's dusk with the pink sunlight going over the horizon, and we're listening to American Girl puttering in on this this turquoise blue boat. It is unbelievable.
Amazing, amazing music.
And Don't Back Down.
Yeah, Don't Back Down. Yeah,
So good.
We could go on.
We could.
Longer than this podcast should be.
So
okay.
we got Tom Petty versus Tom Cat. What?
I mean, that's
tough.
I think I gotta go with Tom Petty over
Petty.
Tom
We
Cat.
gotta go
I mean,
Petty. You know what? We ended up agreeing on a lot of this. Tom Petty, just because
Yeah.
timeless. When it comes down to it, there's
don't make
something
me talk
about
it too much. I'll talk myself out of something else.
No, you won't talk yourself out of it, but I think we can agree Tom Petty is the best Tom. And that nobody can dispute that.
Indeed.
Nobody can dispute that. And I'm glad. Yeah, we disagreed a little bit.
You'll have
Flip
to
the coin.
fight me.
I'd fight for Tom Petty. All right, now we're at the part of the show. We're gonna sum it up here. We got off the cuff questions.
Oh, that's right.
Oh, that is right. Off the cuff. Who wins in a fight between God and Zeus? They get in a tangle.
Zeus, I think, has been shown to be kind of more vengeful, more willing to show his wrath.
I don't know. God straight up sent a flood to kill everybody, and it was only Moses sent to incestually keep the human race afloat.
This one guy in particular. I don't know. I guess Zeus. Zeus has always been.
I gotta go the Lord our
portrayed
God.
as being more of a wrathful.
I would have to disagree with you, Matthew.
I mean, I guess there's something that's something I can agree to disagree on.
All right, here's what we're gonna do. Tails for Zeus, head for God. See which one of them It really exists.
How many times are you gonna flip it?
Once.
Okay.
And if I shoot it up in the air and like a lightning
You're gonna
bolt
flip
strikes
it,
it,
and then you're gonna.
I'm gonna flip it and then
If
flip
a
it over
lightning
again.
bolt strikes this
Then
quarter out of
clearly
the air,
Zeus was
it's
is
clearly
the real
Zeus.
deity. So this is a clash of the gods. Tails for Zeus, heads for God.
You want to? Okay.
So you're going Zeus?
Yeah.
Tails Zeus, head God. I'm thinking God wins. Zeus wins. Good lord. What an upset. I thought
Zeus.
God Zeus.
Good Zeus.
Oh man, Zeus with the upset. That's
Indeed, sir.
man, he's the champ. All right, moving on. Which historical figure are you cracking a beer with? Teddy Roosevelt?
Probably Teddy Roosevelt.
Just going on a
Teddy
camping
Roosevelt
trip?
or like maybe John Muir.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Go it down with him to Cuba. Go be a Rough Rider.
Rough Rider, man.
Go
I
kill
don't know.
some
I'm
civilians.
probably not tough enough for that.
Yeah, you gotta
But
be
I'm tough enough to probably sit and have a beer with the guy though.
You gotta be
probably Teddy
putting-
Roosevelt.
tobacco up your pee hole to be Rough Rider.
Yeah, well, that's how they rode.
Rough.
Indeed,
roughest.
sir.
Like a bunch of dogs. All right. Because they, rough. It's a joke.
Yeah, I got it.
What's your favorite tree? Don't scoff at me. You fucking twat.
I guess the kind that's giving me some shade.
No, I want to name. Name names.
Okay.
Mine's a willow tree.
Because
Fucking love it. 'Cause
like a little bitch.
my best friend growing up, Taylor Bricky, had a big old willow tree in the back of his house. And we'd play under her branches, bask in her shade.
Sounds like something somebody would say like inside the actor's studio or something like that. Scrummy message sandwich.
Oh man! All right.
Sorry, favorite tree?
Tree. Palm tree.
Nah, I mean, I guess I like a maple tree. Yeah, I like a maple tree.
I'll
Yeah, you
give
get
you a
some
maple
maple
tree.
syrup out of it. They change a really pretty color.
There you go.
Yeah.
Does the top fall over at the end of Inception when Leo spins it and he walks away? I'm just saying, I think it falls over. I mean, I just want to believe that he's not in that dream forever state that drove his wife mad. Mall.
I think the top tips over.
You think it tips over? I
it's
think it tips
reality.
over.
I think it's reality.
Why are we agreeing so much?
I kind of hate it.
This is terrible. Who's done the most drugs?
The most drugs?
Who's done the
probably
most
Hunter
drugs?
Thompson.
Hunter S. Thompson?
Yeah,
Just went
probably.
off
He's
the
like
wall.
right up there.
Other than
I mean,
your
I
average
can't
homeless
think of
person.
anybody who was. I mean, there's probably somebody else, but like, he was pretty vocal about like what he did and everything like that. And
That's pretty wild. It's a lot of drugs. Ozzy's done a lot of drugs. Keith Richard,
yeah, I mean,
Motley
yeah,
Crue.
Ozzy. Keith
They probably
Richards,
sniffed
yeah.
miles of coke.
Yeah.
If you put it out on the line,
No,
I
that's
guarantee you
true.
they
I mean,
sniffed the equivalent of
whoever
miles.
I say is probably wrong, but I think Hunter S. Thompson was known to have led a
Oh, that's an acceptable
pretty
answer.
drug-filled lifestyle. So
I'll spot you that guy. I'll give it to you. Sounds
better.
good. I love it. What 5 songs are you putting on your golden record? They get shot out into space, so if aliens ever
Okay.
capture it, they're like, I kind of want to destroy this Earth place.
Okay, well,
Filled with a bunch of
okay,
douchebags.
well,
But hey, boss, check out this record. It's got 5 really good songs on it. And he says, Nano Nano.
okay,
I'm not gonna
sandwich,
kill these guys.
Okay,
You get the picture.
I'll start with a couple of classical, just because, like
Heyo by Red Hot Chili Peppers, obvious. If a planet hit me with a slapper like that,
like
Sound of Silence.
Beethoven's Ninth Symphony. I guess. I mean, as far as classical goes, I mean, I think you could really get mired down in trying to like pin it on a couple or 2 or 3. So I think you pick a couple of those, and then like I don't know, Tom Sawyer by Rush. I mean, come on, man.
Monday.
It's great. It's great.
I don't even know the words. I'm just making noises.
I mean, but you know the melody. Everybody knows that melody. Yeah, I mean, it was revolutionary. There was so much to it. It was such a high production, at a time when it was like a fair amount more basic, I think. But I don't even really know that much about music history, so really just kind of talking on my ass. I mean, you gotta have some, like some Beatles. I mean,
I'd say some Beatles. Do you put any kind of Native American hymns in it?
like,
I mean,
Here-
why is
Here
it all
Comes
got to
the
be
S-
North
like,
American
Here Comes
music?
The Sun, like that's a pretty amazing song.
Yeah.
Or
They can argue Led Zeppelin or just pure opera. Or what about the didgeridoos in Australia?
Physical graffiti is pretty awesome. Then
The Star Wars theme song.
shut your stupid mouth.
It quivers.
So what? That's 4 then?
Yeah, I guess so.
4?
Yeah.
Something like that.
Then
Some kind of noise going on.
then the Friends theme. We got aliens slapping their tentacles together.
No, let's see. Then I don't know, like
Power
like,
Rangers theme.
Like Won't Get Fooled Again or something.
That's not
pretty-
bad.
that's
Maybe
like-
some
that's
Tom
like-
Petty.
Yeah,
Put on some
Tom.
Tom.
American Girl. That's definitely. Yeah, I mean, American Girl is right up there. I guess that's got to be part of the top 5.
Here's the
I'd
next
say
question, Matt.
Tom Petty wins the whole thing. and
Tom
not
Petty's
have
the
him in
GOAT.
top 5.
Knee slapper of a wang. Here's the next up. What do women want? Please tell me.
Excuse me, what?
What do women want?
The hell do I know about that?
You're married. You have 2 kids.
Make a lot of assumptions, sandwich.
They're not your kids.
No, I mean, I don't know.
Nobody knows. Do women know?
Women don't even know.
Does God
Women
know?
don't even know.
Like, what does God know? It's Zeus. I bet Zeus
Women
knows.
want something different.
All right, last question. What is the best appetizer, in your opinion? The best appetizer. Appetizer.
Appetizer, I'd say probably
Nachos,
like
some
a,
dip, quesadilla, mozzarella sticks, buffalo wings,
Dang, I go with
garlic
buffalo
bread,
wings.
buffalo wings,
Yeah.
ranch or blue cheese.
Ranch. I'm
Now
not
you're
some
talking.
kind of heathen.
What about breadsticks? What about like garlic parmesan twists?
Yeah, no, I mean it's
Those
it
are
could be that too,
unbelievable.
man. It could be, done the right way. It could go either way,
I love ambiguity, Matt. Thanks for
Dude,
the
sir.
unclear answer, you piece of shit. But hey, there's a fish on your hat, and I love you. And we have decided that we can agree that Tom Petty is indeed the best Tom of all time.
You're breathtaking.
Yeah, I mean that's a bold statement, but I probably
I stand by it.
by it.
I'll stand by it.
until somebody assaults me about
Let
it.
let them squabble in the comments, and we'll on them with our self-righteous.
Yeah, them.
All right, Matthew. Thank you again for coming on.
Indeed, sir.
Indeed. All right. Goodbye, everybody.
Goodbye.
Go away.
You lose! Good day, sir!